Mexico between the Brics and the United States. Get ready, because what we're about to reveal explains why Mexico's economic future is being reshaped before our very eyes. As the United States faces the consequences of its own trade decisions, Mexico is beginning to look toward new horizons. And this is no coincidence. China and Brazil are already competing to bring our country into a new sphere of strategic cooperation. And if you think Washington will simply sit back and accept this, think again. Stay with us until the end of this video, because we're going to show you how these negotiations could shift the balance of power in Latin America, and what might come next for the Mexican economy. In recent years, the trade war launched by former President Donald Trump left deep marks on the relationship between the United States and its partners. Washington's image as a reliable economic ally was called into question. And in the face of this instability, Mexico realized something crucial: it cannot depend on just one trading partner. That's when a silent but determined movement began, diversifying markets, strengthening new agreements, and seeking alternatives that could reduce American influence. Now let's talk about the factor that is changing everything: the role of the Brics. The bloc, led by countries such as China, Russia, India, and Brazil, has been expanding its global reach. And within this strategy, Mexico has become a key piece. Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva has made it clear he wants to deepen trade relations with the administration of Claudia Sheinbaum. The goal is simple: to build an economic bridge that reduces Mexico's dependence on the United States and strengthens an unprecedented regional integration. And it's not just Brazil. Beijing is also moving. China, the largest trading partner of several emerging economies, has presented highly attractive proposals for industrial, technological, and energy cooperation. And, as you might imagine, this doesn't sit well with Washington. Historically, the United States has treated Mexico as part of its direct sphere of influence. The idea of our country forging closer ties with powers like China and Brazil is perceived as a geopolitical threat. And this unease is already starting to show in speeches and subtle pressure. However, the reality is that the scenario has changed. Mexico is not merely reacting, it is making strategic decisions to expand its opportunities and reduce its risks. And here's the key point: the real impact of this economic shift. If Mexico achieves stronger integration with emerging economies, it could gain access to new markets, attract billions in infrastructure and technology investments, and consolidate its role as a regional leader. This diversification also creates a safety net. Because the less a country depends on a single partner, the more freedom it has to negotiate on its own terms. That said, Mexico knows it cannot simply cut ties with the United States. The challenge will be to strike a balance, maintaining its relationship with its northern neighbor while opening the door to a new era of global alliances. And here's where it gets even more interesting for those who stayed with us this far. While Washington tries to maintain its influence, the possibility is growing that, in the coming years, we could see Mexico taking a central role among the Brics, even if initially only as a strategic partner before a formal accession. This would mean access to alternative financial mechanisms, new credit lines in local currencies, and most importantly, greater autonomy from external pressures. And here's the most surprising part: this shift is already underway. Conversations are happening, agreements are being drafted, and step by step, Mexico is showing the world it's ready to play a new game. So if you've stayed with us until now, you can clearly see that Mexico isn't just reacting to global changes. It's building its own strategy. And while many still look only toward Washington, the real momentum may be coming from Beijing, Brasilia, and Mexico City itself. What do you think? Is this move toward the Brics just a tactical step, or the beginning of a historic shift that will redefine Mexico's relationship with the United States? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share this video with anyone who needs to understand what's really happening behind the scenes of the global economy. Here, you don't just get the news. You get context, analysis, and most importantly, clarity. See you in the next video.